Can you hear me now?
I can now.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, for those who have already tuned in, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Cocktails and Conversation. I have my man, Mr. Dr. Wesley Mills. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, my man. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome, awesome, man. I just really wanted to get to it, man. We have a lot of issues in America, and one of the issues that I want to try to bring some type of awareness, and because it's part of your expertise, and to see an African American doctor, it's an honor, man. And I want to say it's a pleasure to even be interviewing you, man.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, my man.
All
We,
right,
we go way back, so you know how that goes.
exactly. Yeah. So, like I said, man, when I mentioned to you before that a lot of us, and I ain't when I say a lot of us, I'm also talking about myself, man. We need to be like a lot of these women. We need to really go and see these doctors more often. We don't need to go and see the doctor when it's the last minute or it's a situation where we can't even walk or talk. Then we want to go to see the doctor. And a lot of times for us, it's too late. So with you being a doctor, is anything that you can piggyback off on what I'm trying to relate?
Like try to tell everybody, Rico, the main thing is it's all about preventive maintenance. It's kind of like
Okay.
if your car, if you take care of your car, if you get the oil change, you get your tires rotated, make sure all your fluids are, at the right levels, you tend to not have as many problems. However, if you wait till the engine's smoking, your tires are bald, you're gonna have problems. So if you jump on it early,
Uh-huh.
we can prevent a lot of problems. So if you go see your doctor once, I tell everybody, listen, if you're really healthy
Okay.
and there's really not a lot going on, you come see me once a year. It's not like I need to see you all the time.
Okay.
Once a year for your physical, we get labs done, everything looks good. Come see me next year, unless there's
Okay.
an issue.
Okay.
So but it's not like you have to go to see your doctor, every 3 months, every month. It's nothing like that. It's just once a year, unless
Okay.
there's issues. And the problem is what happens, Rigo, is a lot of these things are silent killers, and you don't have any idea. You don't have any idea if your cholesterol is through the roof or your blood pressure is really high until you start having headaches and chest pain and issues with your vision. You don't know if your blood sugars are super high until you start
Mhm.
having issues with being thirsty all the time or
Okay.
urinating all the time. So those are telltale signs when your body's saying these are out of control. But if we catch it early, we can prevent people from having like horrible issues with like high blood pressure, diabetes, and those kind of issues.
Yes. And just with me just living and being able to talk to a lot of other African American men, and one just kind of like stand out because I knew this was like last year. I was having a conversation with another guy, and I was just asking him about, hey man, when last time you been to the doctor? And he specifically told me that the reason he's not going to go to the doctor is because he don't want to pay for somebody to give him bad news. That was his model.
Yeah, and I get that, but the thing is, this bad news, if you catch it early,
Yes.
then this bad news can be negated. I mean, so if I tell you have, your blood sugars are elevated, that doesn't mean that you have to become diabetic. You might be pre-diabetic. Maybe it's just your fasting sugars are elevated, and we
Okay.
can prevent that. Maybe you come see me and your blood pressure is a little bit elevated, and I say you're pre-hypertensive. That doesn't mean you have to necessarily be on blood pressure medicine. I mean,
Yes.
there's a lot of different things we can do that's why I say it's preventative medicine. I mean, if you wait too long, then we're going to be treating it. If we catch it early, we can prevent it. So that's what it's all about, prevention.
Okay.
And that's the key because you wait too long, then it's too late for me to prevent. And now we're on the treatment stage. And those are two different things. But if we
Uh,
can prevent, and that's the whole point with screening and seeing your doctor on a regular basis, hopefully we can
mhm.
prevent things. Now there's some things genetically may happen to you, and there's some things you may not be able to prevent, but we can
Okay.
control them. That's the
Yeah.
key with that. So, if we can't prevent it, at least we can control it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And I remember this was wow. This is several years ago. I knew of a young man. He was 27 years old. I guess he had like a little bump on the back of his head. He kind of thought it was a cyst, but he
Okay.
didn't go to the doctor. He just kept letting it prolong. And this was actually in South Carolina, and they actually had to send him out to Alabama to some type of um, facility or something like that. And it actually ended up being like a tumor, but by that time it was too late.
Oh
He died
man, see.
at 57. You know. And then someone told me not too long ago they knew of another gentleman, and he had a family and everything like that. He actually was getting in the car, and he bumped his head as he was getting in the car, but he just didn't pay it any attention, and it got really bad. Eventually, he lost his sight first,
Whoa.
and let me see. I don't know exactly what they said, but I knew again if he went early, he could avoid all of these things, and he later died as well.
Yeah, and that's the key, Rico. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to get across. And I know that's what you're saying as well.
Uh huh.
If you go to the doctor at least once a year, and I tell everybody, you got to find somebody you feel comfortable with,
Okay.
because when I'm in the office talking to my patients, it's like I'm talking to you now. It's
Yeah.
like I'm talking to my boys. It's not.
Okay.
I try to break it down to, even though a lot of my patients are very intelligent, but I try to break it down to, again, I'm a physician. You might be in finance, you might be in engineering, so you know things that I don't know. But so from
Okay.
the medical standpoint, I try to break it down, make it very simple, make
Mhm.
you understand what we're looking for, why we're looking for it. This is the game plan. This is why we want to do this. But
Okay.
it's all about buying it. It's not about me telling you what to do. It's
Uh
me
huh.
giving you my medical, my expertise, and telling you this is what we probably should do. But it's always up to you, because it's your body, it's your life.
Exactly.
But you need someone who you feel comfortable with to even tell people, because if you go to a doctor and you don't feel comfortable, you're not even gonna tell them what's wrong. You won't
That's
even
true.
say anything to them.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, it's so funny you said that because you said, "Hey, it's like when your patients come talk to you. It's like you talk to one of your boys. You want
Yeah.
to feel comfortable when they talk to you." And I had Miss Judge Lewis Payne on my podcast. She's an African American judge, and what I
Okay.
explained to her is that not only myself, but when young African American walk into a courtroom and they see a Caucasian guy up on that
Hmm.
judge, he's already feeling like he lost before the case even gets started. He doesn't feel like he has a fair chance. But when you walk in that courtroom and you see someone like you, even if you lose enough, but you feel a little bit more confident, or you feel like it won't be so bad with someone else. So like yourself, if and
Right.
growing up, honestly, I always see Caucasian doctors. And there's always a history of discrimination. There's always
Right.
a lot of bad things with healthcare, the healthcare system. So for me to be an African American man and to walk in there and to see an African American man or female doctor, I feel a little bit more confident. I feel like I could relate to them a little bit better. I feel like I can share more to them than someone else because I feel like they got a brother, sister, uncle, cousin just like me, and they can
Yep.
probably sense what we're going through.
Exactly. So that's what I tell everybody. You
Mhm.
have to feel comfortable with your physician, because if you don't feel comfortable with them, you're not gonna feel comfortable telling what's going on with you. You're
Uh-huh.
not gonna really receive what they're telling you.
Yes.
So if you don't feel comfortable, you need to find somebody else you do.
Okay.
Period. Yeah.
All right.
Bottom line.
Now let me ask you about the colonoscopy. Is there a
Uh-huh.
certain time frame you recommend men to go and get this checked out?
So I'll tell you on this one, Rico. It's kind of so. Let me give you two answers. So the first
Okay.
one is between 45 and 50. I would want all males and females to go have a colonoscopy.
Okay.
Or there's the second option too, though, that we have. It's called the Cologuard test, and I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but it's a stool test where they check the DNA for any signs of colon cancer or precancerous polyps, because
Okay.
that's what we're looking for when we do a colonoscopy.
Okay.
So they do the colonoscopy. What they're looking for to make sure there's not any kind of worrisome polyps, which can then develop into colon cancer, because that's what we're trying to prevent, colon cancer.
Yes.
Again, I go back to this whole thing, preventative maintenance.
Okay.
So that's what it's all about. So we're trying to prevent you from having any colon cancer. So if we can find some polyps that may develop into colon cancer, we're
Uh-huh.
removing them, and that
Okay.
determines on how often we need to have you do the colonoscopy.
Okay.
Now, conversely, though, not that long ago, they developed this test called the Cologuard test, which basically is it looks at the DNA in the stool for any signs of colon cancer or
Okay.
precancerous polyps. It's not as invasive. It's not as now. The only problem with it is you do that test, and if it ends up being positive, then you need to go get a colonoscopy. But the
Okay.
upside is if it's negative, it's very simple. I order the test, they ship it to your house. Now, the downside is people don't really like giving stool samples like this, but it's so much easier than doing the prep and everything for the colonoscopy, which, again, the colonoscopy is my 1A. The
Okay.
Cologuard test is my 1B. So,
Okay.
but I'm good with people doing either one because I just want you to get screened.
Yes.
So, the key is getting screened.
Okay.
So, the downside, like I said, to the Cologuard test is that if it's positive, you have to go get the colonoscopy. But there's many positives onto it too, because you don't have to do that prep the day before. You don't need anyone to
Hmm.
drive you to get the colonoscopy. So, because the
Yeah.
colonoscopy ends up being kind of a 2 day uh, ordeal, because you can't really work the day before, because you have to do the prep to clean yourself out so they can see
Yeah.
everything in the colon. And then the day of, you had to have somebody drive you because they put you kind of in that like what we call conscious sedation, kind of
Okay.
like that propofol verse, kind of like what we talked about with Michael Jackson, that kind of anesthetic.
Okay.
And they won't let you drive before, they won't let you drive after that. So it kind of ends up being like a 2 day ordeal where the test is, you do the kit, you send it off, you're done. So we have a couple different options. If people don't want to do colonoscopy, they can always do the Cologuard test, and it's very accurate.
Okay, and I think that's actually what I did last week. So, that's one of the reasons why I brought this up because, of course, you hear from other men, oh, I'm not going to be trying to do this and do that. And I'm not,
Right.
I was like that for a long time. But as I get older, I keep saying, I know that's something that I need to get done. I need to get it done. So I actually went like last week and I got that taken care of. So, again,
Excellent.
I'm waiting on my results too. So,
Yeah,
that's
excellent. Okay.
why I wanted to bring this up. What I would like to do, I would like to take a little small commercial break, and then when I get back, I would like for you to tell me because I noticed you were talking to a lot of youth lately, and want to
Right.
know what is it that you're sharing with them. But give me a moment. We want to go to a quick commercial break, okay?
All right.
All right. This is a good friend of mine. He has a book called Men Are Simple. So if you guys have not had an opportunity to get this book, please catch it on Amazon. Great book to read.
That's dope.
And a good friend of mine, Miss Kimberly. If you're looking, they can buy houses, they pay cash, and they close fast. Reach out to Kimberly at 832-878-1522, or you can hit her up on her email at ktlifeinvestment@gmail.com, or you can reach out to Christopher at 281-965-5409. C. Gardner at bghproperties.com. So if you can't get rid of your houses, or you can't sell your house, reach out to Kim. We buy houses, we pay cash, we close fast. And last, if you like Domino's and you want your Domino's custom made, inbox me. I can get you all the information you need. And if you like any of your information to be streamed live, here's my contact information. You can hit me up on my email at justaskriko@gmail. All right, let me get back to my podcast. Give me 1 second. And I'm going to swap this out so they could see. Give me 1 second. Okay, now, where I'm going at? Where's my picture at? Give me one. I'm trying to pull up this picture 1 second, real quick. Give me 1 second.
Oh, I could see it actually, Rico, when you put it up a second ago.
Oh, okay. All right, here goes that. That's what I was trying to do. Okay, now
Gotcha.
on this picture, it looks like you're speaking to youth. What is it that you were doing that day? Was it like a career day or what was it?
You know what it was, Rico? It was during the TPC,
Okay.
and they had it was called Training You, and they had different people from different, different career fields come in and talk to the kids about what things they were, well, not the young adults about things that they were interested in.
Okay.
And so initially uh, they had people from all different lines, TV broadcasters, um, and then they decided, I guess a lot of kids were interested in the field of medicine. So one of my good friends, Marsha Oliver, who's over the diversity for the TBC, asked me to come and speak to the kids. And,
Okay.
I love talking to the kids. So I just came in and basically talked to them about, anything in the healthcare field. I told them kind of what I did, how I got there, and just asked them, answered any questions they may have about healthcare in general, the field.
Okay.
But the main thing is, and this is what I find, you just have to see people who look like you. Representation is basically it's key,
Okay.
because if you don't know that there are any black judges, but you want to be a judge, that might be kind of, might be kind of intimidating. But if you see several black judges, you're like, oh, well, I can do that.
Yes.
Um, if you want to be a black doctor, but you don't know any black doctors, and then you see a few, man,
Mhm.
that just completely changes your
Yeah.
thing. You might be able to pick, that you might be able to use them as a mentor, but just even seeing them just in general changes everything. Because then like, listen, this is somebody just like me, so if they can do it, I know I can do it. So
Exactly.
so I like to do stuff like that so they can see, besides just, I like to talk to the kids and ask the questions. Just seeing them, just representation purposes, is just great just by itself.
Okay. Okay. Right here, looks like you got an award. What was this award for?
So what happens is, I think they do this all over the nation, but they have this thing called the 40 under 40, which
Okay.
basically, the business journals all over the U.S. the different cities, people will nominate you for this award, and basically what it is, they'll have 40 people under 40 who are
Okay.
doing big things in their career, but also doing giving back. That's what it's about. It's not just that you're doing well from a business standpoint, but you're
Okay.
also giving back in the community. So that's the main thing, that you're volunteering and doing those kind of things in the community. So it's a really nice honor. I was really fortunate to get honored.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. And right here, the red carpet. I don't know. It looked like. Hey, hey, hey. Are you modeling now too?
Hey,
What is
hey, if you know my wife, then you already know. So this is probably one of my birthday parties or something she threw for me. So like, yep, it was birthday party.
it? Awesome, awesome, man. Well, that's good, man. And like I said, speaking with our youth, because they are our future. So if we could, point them in the right direction, we should have a successful future. Because when you look at a lot of these kids nowadays, not all, but some of them are heading in the wrong directions, and it goes back to when I see young men wearing sagging pants.
Right.
Image. You mentioned that too. Image is everything, and and if you expect to get anything out of life, there's a certain way you have to take care of yourself and treat others how you would want to be treated.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you see a lot of violence and things like that. And I mean, we have so many youth. If we can just point them in the right direction, I always say it takes, one person to raise a village, or it takes a lot of people to raise a village. But I always say that if I change one person, I did my job. So just like you speaking to those
Yeah.
uh, I'm about to say athletes. I'm so used to working with athletes, but speaking with those young students, that if you can point them in the right direction and change one of them, you did your job.
And that's why I try to make sure that that I volunteer and do a lot of things. So I'm on a
Okay.
couple boards. One of the main boards I'm on is called Knots for Kids,
Okay.
and we go to, we talk to, and it's primarily for young men.
Okay.
We'll do like middle school to high school, and we'll talk to them about different, and we'll go to different, and especially our at risk population, and
Okay.
we'll go and talk to them about, I'll do the healthcare modules. I'll talk to them about high blood pressure and diabetes and heart disease, and we'll talk about all those different things and how to eat correctly with the food, with the not the food, with not the pyramid anymore, but with proper nutrition and
Okay.
exercise. But then we also have other things. We'll talk about crime prevention. We'll talk about social etiquette, how to use social media, dining etiquette, chivalry, respect. So we try to go and talk to these kids about some of these things because, unfortunately, sometimes maybe the kids maybe they're only with their mom or their grandmother, so there's not a lot of male influence around them. So,
Okay.
we try to be, step, kind of stand in those places too.
Okay.
And also like to volunteer with the sports. Like I said, I do sports medicine, so I do a
Okay.
lot of stuff with the young athletes. I'm on a lot of sidelines of football games, and
Okay.
again, representation is key because they need to see that there are some black, sports medicine doctors, and
Yes.
so it's like I said, it's just key to see us doing things because then when you see it, you
Mhm.
can do it. It's
Yeah.
not even a question.
So if someone wants to get in contact with you, share your information and your contact information.
Yeah. So you can always email me. My email, I'll give you my work email. It's Wesley, Wesley dot Mills
Okay.
MILLS at Ascension, ASCENSION.org. I'm also on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. And you can always feel free to send me a message on Facebook if you want to connect with me that way as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm always happy to answer questions and talk to anybody interested in medicine, whether it be high school, college, people in medical school, people trying to
Yeah.
do their residency. Because after doing all this stuff, like I said, I kind of knew I wanted to be a physician early, so I got accepted to a 6-year medical school out of high school. But my
Mm.
mom kind of talked me out of that, so I went to undergrad the traditional way, then went to medical school.
Okay.
And I'm from Missouri, so I went to undergrad med school at the University of Missouri, or Mizzou, which one of the SEC schools now. Used to be Big 8, Big 12. Um, See, I date myself going back to Big 8, but anyway. And then I came to Jacksonville actually to do my residency in family medicine over at St. Vincent's, and then I went to Mayo, did my sports medicine fellowship.
Wow.
Worked with another doc for about 3 years, and then opened up my own practice probably about 12 years ago. And so
Okay.
it's been a blessing, my man. It's been a real,
Oh,
true blessing. So just always trying to give back when we can.
exactly. So, last thoughts. What is it that you would say to a young man that is probably around 18, 19 years old, just finished high school, and really doesn't have a direction on where he wants to go in life? What would you tell him? Something positive, something that he could take and say, you know what? I remember what that guy said, and it might stuck. It might stick with him.
You just have to understand that you are the best investment. Whatever you do, no, you can't invest in anything more than you can in yourself. You
Okay.
are the truly your best investment. So you have to find your passion, and you can't let money be the guide. So
Mm.
you can't decide you want to do something because of money, because then you'll be miserable. Even if you make a lot of money doing it, you will hate it.
Yes.
Um, but if you do something you love, even
Hmm.
if you don't think it's going to make a lot of money, you can be very, very successful. If you want to be if you want to be a plumber, man, you could have the best plumbing business. You could have multiple offices, multiple
Hmm.
locations, and you could be making, $500,000 a year. So it's not about
Yeah.
what you do. It's just about having a passion for it, and just basically, and just, you know, um, mastering your craft. So no matter what it is, you just want to master your craft and do something you love. And along the way, find some mentors, find some people who have done what you want to do.
Okay.
People who look like you, people who, or even if they don't look like you, anyone who's in your corner who you
Mhm.
can seek out, advice from, because that is the key. I've always had mentors. I've always, had other doctors that I was able to talk to and bounce ideas off their head, or just soak up information. Because I'm like a sponge. I used to just sit around and just listen to what they would say, not
Yes.
even necessarily answering ask questions, just listen to what they would tell me.
Oh,
So that was my key. You are your best investment. Don't sell yourself short. You can do anything you put your mind to, and
mhm.
find people who can help you out along the way. That'd be my best advice.
I appreciate that, man. You always been a real cool dude since day one I met you. It's been almost what, well over 2 decades now.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute now. Like I said, we
Yeah,
date ourselves.
exactly. So hey, next time you out here in the Houston area, man, hit me up. So we can
I
definitely.
will, man. We come there quite often, pre-COVID, so it's a good thing.
Okay, yeah, definitely, man. But again, like I said, it's been an honor having you on this show. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the information that you shared, man, and I wish you much success as well.
Appreciate it, my man. Thanks for
All right,
having me, buddy. And whenever
thank.
you need me, just let me know.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
Okay, buddy. Take care. Bye bye.